Good morning everybody, welcome to my channel Nanna-M. My name is Lynn. If you're new, a very warm welcome to you, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. Now, anybody that watches my channel on a regular basis will know that before Christmas, prior to Christmas, I was doing intermittent fasting, but it's been quite a long journey because prior to that, I was trying to cut out things that I thought I do have IBS. I've had it for years and years, and I've always had trouble with it, and certain foods would give me tummy ache. I didn't know what the certain foods were. I wanted to lose some weight, etc, etc. So what I did was, originally I just cut out bread completely, and I did lose quite a bit of weight, and my tummy did seem to settle down. So I sent for a gluten intolerance test, and that came back negative. I wasn't intolerant to gluten. So I thought, well, is it the wheat? Is it this? Is it that? You just never know, do you? So every now and again, I would buy myself a little wholemeal loaf and I would try it, because I only like brown bread. I'm not keen on white at all. But then a lady pointed out to me that most of the bread that you buy in a supermarket hasn't just got what you would have in bread that you make at home. It's got loads of additives and preservatives and oil that your body finds difficult to process. It can be in there for years. So that put me off, so I stopped buying it. And I've been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks that I'm going to make myself some bread. I've never made bread before, ever. I do have fond memories of my grandma and my mum making bread and watching it rise on, you know, the old-fashioned fireplaces that were tiled. Well, my grandma had one of those big black ovens, do you remember those, where you used to open the door and put coal in, and she used to cook on that. But I do remember my mum, when I was a little girl, baking bread on a regular basis, and the smell of it was always divine. And I used to enjoy watching it rise. So anyway, that's a bit of nostalgia for me, but I've never made it myself. So I thought, right, I'm gonna get the bull by the horns and I'm gonna have a go, and I'm gonna try that. And then if that upsets me tummy, well, then I'm just gonna have to cut bread out completely, aren't I? So, or try a different variety that maybe doesn't have wheat in it, or I don't know, whatever. So that's what I've decided to do this morning. So I thought I might as well bring you along with me, so you will see whether it is a success or whether it is a fail. But what I have done is I've been on the internet and I have found a recipe that's so easy, you don't need to knead it. And there are only 4 ingredients if you count the water. So the 4 ingredients are wholemeal bread flour, the one that I'm making, yeast, dried yeast, instant yeast I think it is, and salt, sugar, which is optional, and water, and that's it. So let's crack on and I'll show you what I've got up to now. I'll show you the ingredients and etc. So I'm going to have to move the camera, so bear with me. Oh, if you think that's something that you could be interested in, please do make yourself a cuppa, put your feet up, relax, and let's see if Nanna-M can let's see if Nanna-M can bake bread or not. We shall see. See you in a minute. So these are my ingredients. I have got 1 pound of wholemeal bread flour. So that's 16 ounces. And this is the one I've chosen. It's Allison's bread flour, because it's different to normal wholemeal flour, the way that it's milled. And I have got 1 teaspoon of salt. I've got 2.5 teaspoons of dried yeast. That just happens to be one of these packets. I bought myself some of these. They come in a packet like that. So for 1 pound of flour, you would use one of those packets. So that makes it even easier. And optional is 1 teaspoon of sugar. So I've got my mat ready. I've got, it really should be a £1 loaf tin, which would be around about 9 inches long and 5 inches high. but this is not 5 inches high, so I'm not altogether certain whether I'm going to need to use 2. I'm going to see what it looks like when it's in here, and maybe I'm going to have to do 2 smaller ones. Next time I go out, I'm going to buy myself a proper pound loaf tin. So I've got that ready, and I've got mine just lined with a paper. What you can do is you can just put it straight into the tin, or you can just grease the tin a little bit, or you can line the tin with some grease proof. It's up to you. So we've got 16 ounces in this bowl. You need 1 teaspoon of salt, which goes in your flour. That gets mixed up in a minute. You need 1 teaspoon of sugar, but this is optional. This is going to go in the water with the yeast, just so that the yeast has got something to feed off. But it's optional. You know, you can still do it without, but it just helps the yeast to feed. So that's 1 teaspoon of sugar that's going to go in the water. You need 414 mils of water, or between 3/4 and 2 cups. And it's got to be very, very warm. Not hot so that you can't put your fingers in, but it's got to be warm so that the yeast can start to grow. So as I say, you want your water hot, but not too hot that you can't stick your finger in. And if you want it to be a bit more precise, it's around about 115 degrees, something like that. So I've already put the sugar in, and that's dissolved. So now I'm going to put my yeast in. And I'm just going to give that a stir round till it's dissolved. I'm just going to stir it till I can see a bit of froth on top. Make sure your sugar granules are all dissolved. You can usually feel them on the bottom if they're not. There's a little bit of froth there, see? Can you see? A little bit of froth. So now I'm just going to leave that to one side for approximately 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll bring you back and show you that it should be all frothed all over on the top. So it won't be long, 5 to 10 minutes. So that's what your yeast and water and sugar should look like. Can you see the foam on top? So now we know that that's live. So I'll just turn you down and show you what we do next. So I've got the salt in the middle, so I'm just going to give it a stir in the middle of the flour. Just incorporate that. You never put your salt in your fluid, because the salt will kill the yeast. And just give that a mix. And then I'm going to put a well in the middle and pour this in. I'm just going to keep that little bit because all flour is different, and some may need more fluid than others. Well, water. I'm going to give that a mix round. That looks to me like it could possibly be enough. I'll just get my scraper. There's no point getting your mixer out to do this because it's so easy to do by hand. Just going to get that from around the edges. And then I'm just going to sprinkle some flour on my surface. Like that. And then just bring this together like that. If you find it's a little bit wet, just put some more flour on. I'm just going to make it into an oblong. Fold this one over. Fold this one over. Turn it over. And I think I'm going to risk it and just put it in the one tin. And should I cut a bit off? Let's see. Now that's all you do, and then you leave this like the cupboard, very loosely covered like that with cling film, and you leave it at room temperature for approximately 40 minutes till it rises, and I'll come back and show you what that looks like. So around about 40-45 minutes, and then I'll be back. Excuse the kitchen, I'm in the middle of making tea, but I just wanted to show you how this has risen. Just taking the cling film off. Can you see? So I'm going to put that in the oven now for between 40 and 45 minutes on, it says 400 degrees in the recipe, so that will be 200 degrees here, Fahrenheit, but because it's a fan oven, I knocked 20 off, so I'm putting it in at 180. And I'm going to put it in for about 40-45 minutes, so I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Okay. So that's it out after 40 minutes. So I'm going to take it out, knock the bottom of the loaf to see if it sounds hollow, and then that'll tell me that it's cooked. So I'll take it out and then I'll show you that bit. Give me a minute. Don't know whether you can hear it or not, but now if you want a crusty crust, you can always put it back in the oven if you want, out of the tin like that, for 5 or 10 minutes or so. But that's crusty enough for me. So as soon as it's cooled down, I'll cut a slice and show you what it's like. I'm excited, it looks good, doesn't it? Let's see what it's like. So this is the morning after, and what I did was I cut the loaf in half last night, put half in the freezer. So this is the other half that I'm going to use. So I'll show you me cutting this. This is what it looks like inside. Look how spongy it is. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces off, and I'm going to toast it, and I'm going to have beans on toast for my lunch. So I'll just turn it down. One slice. 2 slices and a slice for Harvey to try. Look how soft it is. So I'm going to put mine in the toaster and then I'll show you what it toasts like. So I'll be back. So there's my toast out of the toaster. So that we shall see whether this upsets my stomach or not, won't we? I'm going to have beans on. And I shall let you know what it's like. Here we go. Nice. Yeah, really, really nice. Recommend it. I'll be making that again. And I also have just a little slice with just butter on, not toasted. Beautiful. So I'm going to eat my dinner, then I'll be back. So I've just come back on to say bye-bye and to say to you that all the ingredients and the method for making this loaf is in the description box below. And I did put it up on screen, but I will tell you that I would definitely not put it in, put a paper liner in the tin. I would just grease or oil the tin lightly. I mean, if it's a non-stick tin, it should come out by itself anyway, but I just do that just as a precautionary measure. And I will definitely, when I make it next time, make sure that I've been out and I've bought myself a 9" by 5" so that when it rises, it doesn't come over the lip on the side of the tin like mine did. But honestly, I had a slice just with butter on and it's absolutely delicious. So I will give you an update on whether it upsets my tummy or not. I'm hoping that it's not the wheat flour itself or the yeast. That's the only thing really that's in it, other than salt and warm water. So, and a bit of sugar. So, yeah, fingers crossed I'll be able to eat bread again. I still won't eat a lot, but sometimes, you know, like if you're just having a bowl of soup, you just like a little bit of bread, wouldn't you, like to dip in, or as I say, toast. But even though I enjoyed the toast, because I haven't had bread for ages, I enjoyed mostly just the bread on its own with butter. So I think that's probably the way I will, I'm more likely to eat it, yeah. So, yeah, those few tips, remember those. So just make sure that it's bread flour. Don't know what the other flour would turn out like, I've no idea. As I say, I've never made bread before, but if it's that easy, I won't mind making it again. Now I may delve, if this doesn't upset me, I may delve into other ways of making bread with other ingredients, but I need to wait and see first whether my tummy's settled with that or not. So I do hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please would you mind giving me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, leave me a comment or a heart or a smiley face emoji in the comments section, and hit the notification bell and set it to all, and that way you won't miss an upload. I have a feeling that this is going out on a Sunday morning, and if I am correct, you will have already seen a Tesco shop on Wednesday, and hopefully, fingers crossed, if they come in time, an M&S clothing haul on Friday, and then this on Sunday. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and take care, look after yourselves, bake bread, and fingers crossed, I'll see you on the next one. So bye for now.